Good afternoon. That was just a little taste of what's to come. My name is Kathleen Schaefer. I'm the choir director here at First Presbyterian Church. We're very excited to welcome Ann Badger as our musician today. As you can see from the back of your program, the biography, Ann grew up here in Dixon and here in this church. Our congregation is fortunate to have Ann with us as our accompanist about once per month during our church services. And as a matter of fact, if you like what you hear today, you should consider joining us tomorrow morning at 9:30 because Ann will be here, and also at 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. If you've read through Ann's biography on the back of the program, you can see she's very busy, especially this time of year, so we're very grateful that you're able to be with us today, Ann. A couple of notes before we continue. You're welcome to join us after the concert in the fellowship hall for refreshments. If you're not familiar with our church, the fellowship hall is out these doors and to the right down the hallway, and there's also a restroom down that way as well. As we were planning today's event, we decided to have a free will offering with the proceeds going toward the Dixon High School music program. So if you'd like to donate to that collection, you'll find baskets at each of the entrances to the sanctuary and near the refreshments in the fellowship hall. I think that's it for announcements, so I invite you now to sit back and relax. Ann is going to be introducing each piece that she's playing, so I will turn it over to her. Ann Badger, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Let's see if I've got the right distance from the microphone. Of course, the organ really doesn't need any microphone to amplify its many voices, but this will be an opportunity to share a varied program of holiday and Christmas organ music, and also to show off the versatility of this instrument. It's a blended instrument. That means it's got digital components and it also has acoustic pipes, and they work together, and you will hear the organ at its most festive and majestic sound, just as you heard in the fanfare, and also a lot of other colors and impressions and dynamic levels. There will be some very, very quiet pieces as well that I will be playing. So I will say a little bit about most of the pieces that I'll be sharing with you today. Sometimes I'll just group them in. I'll say just a little bit about a pair of them. Or, as in the next thing that you will see on your program, a group of 5. This is a group of 5 settings of a Christmas carol that I do think is the oldest music that I have on this program. It is from the 14th century. It's the carol In Dulci Jubilo, which has been sung from then until now. It's still in most carol books and some hymn books under the translation of Good Christian Men Rejoice or Good Christian Friends Rejoice. I have always loved this jaunty, old medieval sounding carol, and I will start by just playing it in a fairly straightforward, harmonized version, just one little bit of it. But the theme of this old carol is rejoicing at Christmas time. And so each one of the composers that I chose to represent, a different setting of this carol, is interpreting joy in a different way. Let's see. The first after the carol itself, the first setting that I will be playing for you is a Bach chorale prelude on this. He loved this tune and did many settings of it. This one is just as exuberant as Bach gets. It's not these are not long settings, but you will be uplifted in spirit to hear this very well known and widely played and appreciated by us organists. This very well-known Bach chorale prelude. Then I will be following that with a chorale prelude. That just means a chorale setting, just an arrangement essentially, by Marcel Dupré, the French organist and composer. This one, he is clearly seeking to create a mood of quiet joy. It's a very, very quiet, but entirely recognizable and joyful arrangement of the carol. Franz Liszt, the very famous piano virtuoso and composer, made an arrangement of this for his granddaughter. He wrote more organ music than you might think, and this was one of the pieces that he wrote for harmonium, which is like an organ that you would have at home. It's a very small instrument. And as befits a piece of music for child, it's set to a rocking lullaby rhythm, but it's still indutiabile. It's an expression of contentment and joy at the season of Christmas. And I'll be concluding with a setting by Paul Fay, who made the arrangement of the fanfare at the beginning. He is one of the organists associated with the St. Thomas Church in Leipzig, which was the church associated over many, many years with J.S. Bach. And this arrangement by Paul Fay is, he's very aware that he's following in the tradition of the master Bach himself. So a varied group of settings of Induci Jubilo in sweet joy. Another cradle song. Of course, the manger scene is one that has inspired musicians and poets and parishioners as they contemplate the birth of the child. And this one is a widely sung Polish carol called Infant Holy, Infant Lowly, and it is yeah, conjuring, it is giving us the impression of the child asleep. And now something completely different. You're going to enjoy this, but I'm going to tell you what to listen for, because organists know about the tradition of French Noel organ playing, but the general public doesn't necessarily know that. So I will simply tell you that in the 18th century, it became a thing in the great cathedrals of Paris and throughout France for organists to present recitals, not so very different from this one, and they would present their own compositions, which would be variations of the Noels, the Christmas carols that were sung by country folk. Only now they were given very sophisticated settings. And then the organists would come up with their own variations of these recognizable melodies, and it was a huge hit because these Noel recitals brought people to recognize, to listen to melodies that they had known perhaps when they were growing up, but they were presented in this very sophisticated way. So it reached a wide audience, and people thronged to hear these recitals. And so I will simply say, you will just hear this melody over and over again. And it is a wonderful melody, so you will not mind that. But it gets, but every time I play it, it gets a little harder to play. The organist composer is showing off just how brilliant the setting can actually be. This one is often subtitled the Echo Noel by this very wonderful, famous composer, Louis-Claude Daquin, called the Echo Noel, because it makes use of the various organ keyboards echoing each other, as you will hear. So this is one of many, but and one I'm especially fond of, the Echo Noel by Daquin. Imagine yourself in Paris. I'm going to introduce the next two together, and you may apply. I appreciate your a great audience and your responsiveness. You can applaud in the middle, or I will just take a minute to get reset for the next one. But it's a pair. One is from the English tradition. The other is very American. The first one is "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen," which I really do. It's another one of the carols that I really love. This goes back to the 18th century. The history of the melody seems to go back to London and the 18th century. And this is sung still in holiday gatherings and madrigal dinners, and it's just a wonderful Christmas and holiday carol. I'm going to play it in a kind of straightforward carol form, and then I'm going to add a setting, a brief setting, but a very eloquent setting, I think, of this by the English composer who shows up just right after our intermission too, someone by the name, an organist and composer by the name of Noel Rossthorn, and who was born on December 24th, as it turns out, hence his, I think, being especially attached to the music of Christmas and being called Noel as well. He has made an arrangement of this God Rest Ye Merry, as well as many other Christmas pieces. And I think you can hear him struggling a little bit with a feature of this carol, which I really love, but it's a challenge for a composer at Christmas time because it's in a minor key. That's the more reflective, or sometimes you can say melancholic key, but in any case, it's not in a major key. It's not in what you would expect would be the merry or the joyful key. And you can hear Noel Rossthorn in his setting of it, just trying to urge that harmony toward the major key, and it keeps getting stuck. It doesn't quite get there. So he comes up with some odd chords on the way to trying to get to the major, and he doesn't really quite get there at the end. So it ends up a little bit suspended between the minor and the major. And maybe that's one of the things that I like about it, because at holiday time, it's a complex time. It's a time of rejoicing and strong feelings of many kinds. And I think that sometimes the music that's in the minor key speaks to us with special eloquence. So that's the God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. And then I'm going to do an arrangement by Virgil Fox of the beloved Christmas carol, O Little Town of Bethlehem. This is, in Britain, they sing it to a different tune. But this is an American tune, and it's a beautiful one. And Virgil Fox, who was born in Princeton, just up the road a bit, has made a beautiful setting of it, conjuring up, summoning the imagery of a silent Bethlehem, and with all of the beauty and the mystery of the darkened streets, with the shining star up above, but also the many stars. And the middle of this setting by Fox is, I think it's his imagining in music the twinkling of the stars. It's a very twinkly little part of the setting, and you will. It's very imaginative, and I think maybe you can let yourself envision what the composer has in mind as he arranges a musical scenario of the little town of Bethlehem. Thank you so much. We'll have just a 5-minute intermission, just a moment to reset a couple things here. And then I will call you back, and we will have, we have some kind of wonderful things in the second half as well. So I'll see you soon. So the next carol, Christmas song that I'm going to be playing for you, it comes from the rich tradition of African American hymnody, spirituals, and especially Christmas songs. I had many that I was considering. This one I love, but Mary Had a Baby, but Go Tell It on the Mountain is sung by congregations and carolers at this time of year. Rise Up Shepherds and Follow is a wonderful song. I wanted to make sure that we had a representative of this part of our musical heritage in this country and as a gift to the world. So I'm going to do a jazzy arrangement, again by Noel Rossthorn, of Mary Had a Baby. And then I'm going to follow that with a peaceful and beautiful setting of the possibly the most widely sung Christmas song there is, which is Silent Night. And then I will announce our last piece separately. It's justly entitled The Christmas Celebration. I'll tell you a little bit about it, and after sharing Mary Had a Baby and Silent Night. So the last piece that I'm going to play for you, it's called Christmas Celebration. It's an arrangement by the very prominent English organist, contemporary. He's out there doing a lot of concertizing and YouTubing, and you can find him pretty easily, and I recommend him to you. He is his name is Jonathan Scott, and he loves the organ. He loves its resources. He loves what you can do with it as a composer, as an arranger, and all of his resources as a musician and an organist are on display in this arrangement. It contains four settings. Four settings of four different Christmas pieces, and they won't be separate. They will, each one will kind of meld into the next one. Very, very different in mood, but the Carol of the Bells, O Holy Night, that beautiful and widely loved song, which if my mother were here now to hear me playing this, she would be crying already. So, Oh Holy Night for my mom. But Jingle Bells also, and be ready for surprises there. And then it ends up with We Wish You Merry Christmas. And so those will go without stopping in between. And I really am intending to show you what, if you haven't already heard, and you may have been surprised by just how much variety and beauty there is, to be found in this instrument. To be an organist is like being an orchestrator. You really put things together and are always making discoveries, even with an organ that you know very well. But this one, it puts it all out there, and I know you will enjoy this because this really is a fun piece. And I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate the First Presbyterian Church in Dixon, and I appreciate the music committee and Kathleen and all the people that were patient to leave messages and then wait the long wait as I eventually got back to them. But it is a pleasure to have been able to be with you this afternoon. It's of course, growing up in Dixon, it's always a homecoming when I come back, and so I'm so glad to see old friends and to meet new friends here. And it is the case that I do come back and play on the organ here at Sunday services about once a month. You're not going to know exactly when that is, because it's all Kathleen can do to get me to tell her when it's going to be. But I do make a point of coming back regularly. I have family here. David, thank you for anchoring my visits, and it's good to worship in this place on Sunday morning. So this is the Christmas Celebration, an arrangement by Jonathan Scott, and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. It's getting the rhythm of this. I'm going to be working on that for many Christmases to come. I hope to see you if you have time to come back and join me and everyone else who's able to stay for the reception. I'd like to see you afterwards. Thank you so much for coming.